Hello everyone and welcome to another historic video. So huge change to historic. A lot of things got changed, so I just want to go quickly touch up on historic cards and the decks got affected. So first of all, the Cauldron familiar can't block anymore. That's pretty huge because this allows creature decks to be a lot better against Cat Oven deck. I don't even know if Golgari Cat Oven is going to be even playable anymore just because it can't block. And the Meathook Massacre, unable to gain life when opponent's creature die. That's actually pretty huge as well. It seems like this nerf, if you're playing Cat Oven deck, if you're playing against a control deck, it's still gonna be the same. But this change makes it so that the decks that it was good against, which were creature deck, that the deck is less good. Aside from that, Dragon Rage Chandler, now becoming a 3-1 instead of a 3-3 when the Delirium flips. I want to say this is a pretty good nerf because mono red decks, they play Bone Crusher Giant, right? 2 damage spells and Unholy Heat dealing 2 damage. So being able to kill Dragon Rage Chandler is, I think this is a pretty good nerf. Dragon Rage Chandler is still going to be very, very playable. A 1 mana 3-1 flying, that's basically the same as a Delver that's flipped. So I mean, yeah, 1 mana 3-1 flying is still very, very powerful. Aside from that, Unholy Heat now deals 4 damage instead of 6 damage with the Delirium. This is pretty huge. It can't kill Izzet. It can't kill Teferi. So I want to say Unholy Heat is still really good. I think you still play it in a Phoenix deck. So Phoenix deck didn't really get affected too much. It's going to be a little bit weaker against a control deck. That's kind of like what I'm worried about because control deck, as you can see, really didn't really get changed. So that's something that I'm kind of worried about. Control decks becoming too prominent. They're already pretty popular in the historic format. So blue-white control decks definitely got better with this update. Those are really the only changes that I really wanted to talk about. Aside from that, let's talk about the deck we're playing today. Izzet/Wizard Aggro. So why are we playing Wizard Aggro all of a sudden? And that's because of this card here, Mentor's Guidance. This was a card that was a 3 mana card before, I believe, but now it's a 2 mana card. Whenever you cast a spell, copy it if you control a Planeswalker, Cleric, Druid, Shaman, Warlock, or Wizard. So we only care about the text Wizard here because we are technically a Wizard deck, aside from the fact that we're playing Ledger Shredder, which happens to be a Bird Advisor. When you play this, it scries 1, then you draw a card. If you control a Wizard, you get to copy this Mentor's Guidance, and then you get to scry 1 and draw a card. So why this is really, really good in our deck is because it's a singular blue compared to Expressive Iteration that we used to play is a red-blue spell, which is very, very hard to cast in a 17 land deck, plus the fact that we are forced to exile a spell to the exile pile for us to cast it with the Expressive Iteration, and that becomes hard because we usually are looking for a land with the Expressive Iteration, and because we're playing 17 land deck, sometimes you don't get a land with the Expressive Iteration, and which means that you've spent 2 mana to cast, draw 1 card to your hand. And compared to that, Mentor's Guidance is a lot better in that aspect because you put 2 cards into your hand. You also scry twice if you had to. And yes, Expressive Iteration looks at 3 cards at the same time, which can be very powerful because you get to make choices depending on the 3 cards that you've seen. But I feel like just because of the kind of deck we're playing with only 17 lands, a lot of times I cast Expressive Iteration, I don't get to keep the second card that we put into exile because we don't find a land. Usually you're playing Expressive Iteration to find a land, but a lot of times you can't with this deck. So Mentor's Guidance can be really, really good in our deck because you can potentially look at 4 cards with double scry, and then you can put 2 cards into our hand. Yeah, that's really good. Aside from that, the creatures that we're going to be playing are Symmetry Sage, Soulscar Mage, Ledger Shredder, and Dreadhorde Arcanist. I do kind of wish there were more 1 mana wizards that we can play, but in the Izzet color... So Delver of Secret happens to be a wizard, but unfortunately, if you do have a sorcery or instant speed on top of our deck, it does become a human insect, so we do lose our wizard synergy. There is also Siren Storm Tamer, but this is kind of a card you want to play in more of a tempo deck instead of a burn deck, because you want to leave up one blue source at all times. And in our deck, we have a lot of prowess and magecraft such as Symmetry Sage and Soulscar Mage, so a lot of times we don't have mana open to activate the Siren Storm Tamer, so this is a card that we don't really want to play. So I would say the only wizard that we could potentially play is Gitu Lava Runner. This is pretty nice and has pretty good synergy in our deck. So if you want to play Gitu Lava Runner, I would say I would cut, maybe you can add 2 copies of this instead of Reckless Charge. And if you're new with prowess, and yes, if you Reckless Rage a Soulscar Mage, the prowess trigger goes off first so that it becomes a 2/3, and then Reckless Rage will deal 2 damage to Soulscar Mage to survive the Reckless Rage damage. So every creature in our deck can survive a Reckless Rage, so that's fantastic. And the most powerful combo we can do in our deck is if you give either Ancestral Anger and Reckless Charge into the Dreadhorde Arcanist to recast Static Discharge, then the intensity level goes up if you recast it from the graveyard. So if you've already done 3 damage with Static Discharge already, then it's gonna deal 4 damage with Dreadhorde Arcanist. But yeah, that's all I have to say about the deck. I've tested out the deck already and I'll show you guys some games that I've played best out of 1 ranked queue and historic ranked ladder to show you guys how the deck plays, and I'll see you guys all later. Okay, so we see the Mentor's Guidance. We also see some 1-drops. It's time to put this card to the test. So let's go Symmetry Sage. Let's go Soulscar Mage first. Okay, here we go. We're not going to be able to cast Mentor's. I don't even know if we have time to cast Mentor's Guidance. I feel like the game is just going to be over. It's just a casual 8 damage on turn 2. You know. Just a casual. I mean, this is a good time to Mentor's Guidance for some lands, I believe. Wait, why did I have to target twice? Huh? Oh my god, I'm so stupid. I just thought that's... I'm so stupid. Okay, first game, as well as I just woke up. Might be. But that's okay. Opponent wants to go to 1. I guess there's really no choice, but... They get 4 live. That's a mulligan. That's very interesting. Because this is exactly the same as last hand, so... Rep me. I don't want to play this as blue because most of our spells are red. So we want to I could Dreadhorde Arcanist. It's a little bit slow though. I think I have to just because we multi 5, so if we can get another Ancestral Anger off, that's gonna help us. Oh, they missed a land. Interesting, okay. Do I still attack? No. Okay, this is really good, because if they have a Wizard's Lightning, they can't kill my creatures anymore, so... Symmetry Sage, okay. Another land. Uh-oh. We ran out of gas. Just Symmetry Sages and Dreadhorde Arcanist without any spells in my hand. An opponent doesn't know that and they surrender. 2-0. 2-0. We've seen from our opponent last game what happens if you keep a one-lander, so... I think this is definitely a mulligan, especially when you have a pathway. I would say it's kind of keepable with Wizard's Lightning if this was a dual land, but this is a pathway. I think this is keepable. Question is it the Symmetry Sage? I think so. I mean, we can't cast it, so... Well, well, well. Give up on doing 7 damage or... play Dreadhorde Arcanist. Wish I can do both. Wish I can do both, but... That is a card. I wish I had 1 mana here. So if we get 1 mana here, that's really good. Okay, so we fish for our land the next turn as well, because we do want to recast the Static Discharge. That's nice. It's a Static Discharge face. We rebuy the Static Discharge. Now it deals 4 damage. Extinction event. Okay. If it was a Languish, we would have been in pretty big trouble, but they played a... Actually, no, because I can just Reckless Charge Soulscar Mage from our hand. I'll keep. It's not like the most amazing hand. I think we still play Soulguide Lantern on turn 1 anyways, in case of a Thoughtseize. Where were you on turn 1? So opponent has Bone Crusher Giant, so we don't block this. Burning Tree into Bone Crusher Giant. Yeah. That thing has haste, by the way, so kind of scary, right? Okay. Reckless Charge. I think we're gonna cast Ancestral Anger here. Are we racing? We're probably just racing, right? Yeah. What? The game's not over. Where are you going? There it is, Mentor's Guidance. This is actually a perfect hand where Mentor's Guidance becomes so good. Right, we don't have much creatures in hand. We play Soulscar Mage on turn 1, and turn 2 we Mentor's Guidance for 2 cards. Excellent. Excellent. Boom. I'm definitely gonna keep all the burns against Elves deck. It's the Soulscar Mage is gonna grow twice, right? Another one though? Wait, why didn't it grow twice? Oh, because it's not a Magecraft. Right. I keep that for sure. Because Magecraft says whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery speed. That's why Symmetry Sage gave it twice. Right. Huh? Wait, is there like some kind of a trickery here? Like, what is going on? Why are they attacking with the Elvish Planescaller? Okay, so let's kill you. And we're gonna attack. Then let's kill you? I probably should have considered first. Right. It's okay. I forgot to play land too. It's okay. I'm giving them a handicap. Giving them a handicap. Doesn't make sense to do it now. 2, 3, 4. No, I think I'm actually gonna do Wizard's Lightning on my turn so that Soulscar Mage becomes tougher. Do I have lethal? I don't really want to do the math, honestly. Do not want to do the math. Right. Okay, well, this was the quickest and easiest 5-0 I've ever done. Okay, so this card. What did I think about this card? So Mentor's Guidance, there's some gimmicks that I didn't really fully understand until I actually played the game. That's the copy mechanic. And if you play Symmetry Sage with the Mentor's Guidance, you actually get the buff twice, because the Symmetry Sage has Magecraft, which procs cast or copy, so that's really nice actually. So there's some really good synergy there, but Soulscar Mage doesn't get it, so that's something you have to watch out for. Compared to Expressive Iteration, is actually, it feels much better, well, at least to me, because in a deck such as ours with only 17 lands, a lot of times we actually miss out on the card that we put into exile because we can't, either we can't cast it, or we're hoping for a land but we don't draw a land and we can't cast it. So in that sense, Mentor's Guidance is actually, it feels much better in this deck. Yeah, I actually really dig this for a 2-mana card that's only blue, right? That's also a plus, big plus, since we don't have to, it's not mana specific. We're playing a lot of, we're playing 4 mountains and 4 pathways. So, yeah, I mean, I really liked it. I really liked it. But, I mean, aside from that, Soul Guide Lantern, it wasn't much of a help. I mean, having just a 1-up Soul Guide Lantern is fine, right? Is it fine? I don't know. Maybe you just want another Reckless Charge for extra aggression, if you'd like. Because the game is so fast with this deck, maybe it is actually correct to just play for Reckless Charge instead of the Soul Guide Lantern, so you can end the game before turn 4. So what are we really afraid of when we play Soul Guide Lantern? Reanimator is fine because we are a creature deck that happens to play a bunch of burn spells, so if they reanimate something like Sarah's Emissary, for example, then we can burn them down with they have to call creature because we play creatures. Then we just burn them down with sorceries and instant speed. So what is this for? We're not using it for Phoenix. Yeah, maybe Soul Guide Lantern is bad in our deck. This deck doesn't need Graveyard Hate. Yeah, I think we just go down on that card, and then maybe we'll play 1 more copy of Reckless Charge. Maybe that's how it's supposed to be. But yeah, I really liked it. I really like this version. But anyways, that's all I have to say about the deck. Hope you guys enjoyed the video so far, and I'll see you guys all later. Bye bye.